Hey everybody, welcome to Game 1 in a best of 3 series being played between FXO.Choya, he's the red Protoss down here in the bottom right corner of Shakuris Plateau, and his opponent is going to be Liquid TLO, the blue Zerg, over on the bottom left corner of the map. So this game is played on the North American server. TLO is playing from Europe, Choya is playing from Korea. You can see that these guys have a little bit of friendship going on, Choya complimenting Mr. TLO, but TLO is a little bit sad that he has so much beard. He, of course, if you don't know, wants to eventually be able to destroy his beard through important wins. So I think beating Choya in the IPL4 online qualifiers might be some beard points for him. Wow, did he just... He did. He dropped a spawning pool already at only 7 supply. So Liquid TLO with the 7 pool. Wonder how Choya is going to be able to deal with that. Choya actually already dropping a pylon at his ramp just outside of his natural and sending that probe to go scout. So we'll see what Choya sees when he gets in here and sees the spawning pool about halfway done when he arrives. So yeah, this series is being played for the round of 128 for the IPL4 online qualifier number 2. There were only 2 online qualifiers, so it is do or die for both of these guys. There are no more online qualifiers after the second one, so only the top 2 will qualify for the IPL4 live event in Las Vegas. But Choya is acting as sort of a coach over at the FXO. I say sort of a coach, he actually is a coach over at the FXO house in South Korea. TLO did spend some time in Korea a while ago, played in the GSL if you'll remember, and Choya did just see that spawning pool, so now he's going to have to decide what is he going to do now that he's seen the spawning pool. He's going to build a forge already and get another pylon up here behind his mineral line, so the forge wall off most likely not going to be done by the time all these lings arrive, as they are already starting to pop out. Let's see, yes, TLO is still droning, but Choya does have a lead on harvesters. Of course, that chrono boost from the Protoss Nexus being such a helpful thing in that situation. And Choya actually, ooh, very, very good timing there. Waits for the first 2 lings to run out and actually hit a perfect little window there to sneak his probe over to the natural. So he does have that forge completed. He could start being a jerk over there and building pylons and cannons and things like that. But right now, back at home, he knows he's not going to finish that wall off, so he just puts a photon cannon right there in his mineral line. I would say that's a wise decision, but now he does have this forge and pylon totally unprotected. There's a probe over here. Looks like he wanted to build a cannon, but he knows if he goes over there now, the lings would probably just surround and kill him, so he's being super duper cautious there. TLO actually only sending 2 lings, so the fact that Choya scouted it so quickly means that TLO is now going to switch up his strategy a little bit. He's still killing off that pylon inside the natural of Choya, but he is also dropping a hatchery of his own over at his own natural, and this probe of Choya is just out of range. As long as this forge is still standing, Choya could drop a pylon and start doing some damage with cannons. He's going to build actually a second forge, okay, back in his main. So even if this forge does get taken out, which looks extremely likely since Choya is probably not going to want to sacrifice a bunch of probes and mining time just to keep it alive, he's just going to build a new one here back inside of his main, and this first gateway will be done soon. So here's the pylon from Choya. He is actually going to start doing some cannon stuff, it looks like, maybe even while this first forge is still alive. The second forge is going to be done soon anyway, so yeah, a little bit of a window there. Choya does build the first 2 cannons. TLO still does not see or hear this. We take his vision here on this hatchery. He doesn't know that this cannon action is happening, so TLO could get a little bit upset by that soon. The forge is going to be exploded here at the natural of Choya, and TLO probably thinks he's just won a minor victory. He did not overcommit with Zerglings, so that's good. The fact that Choya built a cannon in his main mineral line and basically prevented TLO from being able to do too much economic harassment, actually any economic harassment, so good moves by Choya so far. And now this cannon is in range of the hatchery. We're taking TLO vision, so the cannon is revealed just because it's able to attack, and now this queen sees that this is cannon number 3 coming along, doesn't want to walk into open cannon fire, so TLO is actually in a bit of a tough spot. There's actually no way he's going to be able to defend this against 3 cannons. He's building a Roach Warren now, 4 Zerglings on the way out. There's no way he's going to be able to save this hatchery. He puts off the larva inject, and actually the rate that these cannons fire, the larva inject should actually finish. TLO neglecting his queen though. He's trying to take down this cannon, but there's no way she's going to be able to kill that thing, so the 3 cannons take out the queen. A little bit of a misstep there from TLO. Looks like the larva inject might just barely finish and spit out before the hatchery dies. Yeah, it should definitely finish. So he'll have some extra larvae to work with, even though the hatchery is going to be destroyed. And TLO now mounting a bit of an offensive, but there are some zealots out now for Choya. He's been building 1 zealot at a time all the while. After that forge and gateway got completed in his main, he's going to drop a nexus here at his natural as well, so he can start getting ahead in economy. And back over at Choya's cannons, those broodlings pop out and don't do anything to the cannons. So TLO's probably glad he got that larva inject off. Now he's making lots of roaches out of these eggs eggs. Wow, that cannon actually took out an egg. These things are crazy, crazy tough. Eggs actually have like a bajillion armor, I believe. But all 5 roaches actually do manage to pop out. We've got a huge wave of lings already prepared at the front line. Baneling Nest actually coming up now for TLO. He saw that wall off. He must have. That's why he chose to build the Baneling Nest. Yes, and he's got 14 lings on the way as well. So lots of roaches scuttling across the map now. I don't believe he has lair tech. Probably not. No, still working off of just 1 gas, in fact. So that Baneling Nest is going to be necessary. He's going to morph some Banelings here and probably try to just bust down this front. But Choya is spending a ton of minerals here on cannons. He may even build another gateway here just to finish this wall off completely. Lots of cannons, 4 cannons here, and only 5 roaches for TLO. So he's going to try and take out these zealots just with some kiting methods, but Choya actually has a lot of wiggle room here to back off into the cannons, keep these zealots alive. Still no cybernetics core from Choya. He's spending a lot of money on photon cannons and now some extra assimilators here so he can get that gas income going. The cannons over here still standing. TLO not trying to retake that, just instead massing up lots of banelings now. We can look at the units tab. He's already got 7 created. Here come 2 more. Is he going to try and run up the ramp right away? He would need all those banelings to hit these zealots and cannons if he has any hope of winning that fight. So he's going to wait for some more gas to come in, build up more and more banelings, and we'll see how Choya actually reacts to that. What is going on here? He's building a hatchery. TLO is building a hatchery in what I like to call the armpit expansion here on Shakura's Plateau, right outside of Choya's natural. I don't know if Choya realizes this. I'm going to take his vision. No, he actually has no idea that the hatchery is going up right outside of his base. Another gateway is going to come in to try and finish off this wall off, as well as a replacement pylon for the one that just went down. Even though these roaches can hit it, it is going to delay them a little bit. Choya just cancels it, gets most of the minerals back. TLO is still making 1 or 2 banelings at a time. Once this hatchery comes up, I'm really curious what TLO thinks he's going to do. Is he going to macro up and just keep this contain going forever, Terran style? I mean, Choya being trapped on 2 bases wouldn't be the worst thing in the world for TLO. He could actually freely expand basically everywhere except for where these cannons are. He could actually eventually even deal with the cannons. So this is an interesting position he's got Choya in at the moment. TLO is actually up by 15 supply and forcing cancels on all of these front lines. I'm wondering how long before TLO actually tries to roll up there and destroy all these cannons and zealots. It seems like this contain could last forever at this point. Units tab shows 36 drones, only oh, sorry, we got banelings going on here. Force field does go down, but it's not enough to protect the gateways. Still only a few banelings remaining, and they're not going to be able to take out all the cannons. We do have roaches and lings surrounding this sentry now and taking it out. Probes blocking the ramp. Very quick move there by Choya, and these 4 cannons are doing so much damage to all these lings and roaches. There's now only 1 roach left standing, and the probes are going to use their plasma cutters, their particle beams, to take down that last roach and those last lings, and Choya's just going to rebuild the wall right where it was, and TLO is going to GG after losing his entire army. He only had 20 drones that entire game, stopped droning completely after he was shut down at the natural, so Choya takes game 1 here. This is a best of 3 series though, so TLO has a chance to fight back. A little bit of an interesting scenario there with that hatchery. I'm really wondering if he had kept that contain going for a lot longer, what would Choya really be able to do about it aside from massing up that Tier 1 Protoss Death Ball? So TLO, interesting decisions there. Kind of a strange game overall. Let's go into game 2 now and see what happens next.